Good day. We are going to answer one of the questions coming from our subscribers here in our free legal help desk. This is the question of Marigold Araneta Uy. And she said here in her question, good day, Attorney Batu. I am seeking legal advice regarding a housing loan and title issue. My spouse and I have an approved housing loan with a bank processed by the developer and have been consistently paying our monthly amortization for 5 years now. The house and lot are treated by the bank as collateral for the loan. However, the transfer certificate of title remains under the developer's name and has not been transferred to us despite our compliance. The developer has been unresponsive and is nowhere to be found, and the bank has not provided clear assurance on how our ownership rights are protected while we continue paying for a property that is not legally under our name. Given the situation, may I ask if we still have a legal chance to acquire the title to the property and what remedies or actions are available to us? Thank you, and I look forward for your guidance. I am just humbly hoping that this concern might be considered for inclusion in one of your YouTube discussion videos. I understand that your time is valuable and that consultations are usually paid. So this request is made with full respect and appreciation for your work. Respectfully, Marigold Alraneta Uy. So, thank you for that question, Marigold. And yes po, in this free legal forum natin, we do not accept any payment. We are here to give advice free, no? And in fact, I hope that our advice could help all the questions by our subscribers and followers. So, actually, your concern is serious, but actually, it is not that much problematic. It's not hopeless. Based on Philippine housing and real estate law, you still have a strong legal chance to acquire the title, and there are clear, effective remedies available. I will try to address these directly, step by step, and practically in the same structure that you requested based from your question. First, your situation is not uncommon. It is common, no? And the law anticipates it. There are really certain situations wherein the developer has not transferred the title yet to the buyer and enters into agreement with the bank for purposes of bank financing, and the bank accepts it because it's a business for them. So what you describe here typically happens in bank finance developer projects wherein the title remains in the developer's name. Then the bank releases the loan proceeds to the developer, effectively paying the developer in full. Now, buyers, just like you, pay amortizations in good faith. The developer later becomes unresponsive, insolvent, or disappears. You cannot find them anymore. Now, the critical point here is this. Actually, you are not at fault. And 5 years of payment already establishes strong buyer rights on your part. That is what we call equitable ownership. Second, does the bank's mortgage protect you? Well, yes, but with limits. Even if the title is still under the developer's name, you no, are protected because the mortgage exists because of your loan. The bank recognizes your house and lot as collateral. This places the developer in a trust relationship over the property. However, the bank is not the owner. The bank is not the developer. Its role is limited to securing the loan, holding the title while the mortgage exists. So the the participation of the bank is limited to that. The developer is the one who sold it to you. And actually they're paid. And technically speaking, you are now this what we call have equitable ownership, especially the fact that you have already paid at least 5 years. So the third issue, based on your question, would be My answer would be you still have a legal right to the title. Definitely. Your right exists because of continuous compliance with loan obligations. Number two, actual possession of the property. I believe you are. And bank approved housing loan. Payments made in good faith. So, in all these cases, the developer's failure being a legal violation. It is not your violation. Under Philippine law, a buyer's right are not defeated by the developer's disappearance or insolvency. Remember that always. That is their fault, not yours. Okay. Fourth, the proper remedy. So what is the remedy? It is an administrative action before the HSAC. Yes, it is the Human Settlements Adjudication Commission, not the courts. That is now clear under the law, under its charter. It has jurisdiction over complaints filed by the buyers against the developer. And of course, you should include the bank as a nominal or necessary party in order to have a complete relief of what you want of your complaint. No, otherwise, if you do not include the bank, you will not get an entire relief. I will get into that later on. So this is very, very important, no? Because your case arises from a housing or subdivision project. The proper forum is therefore the Human Settlement Adjudication Commission or HSAC, okay? Not the regular courts. HSAC has exclusive jurisdiction over cases involving failure to deliver titles, failure to convey ownership, violation of buyer, and violation of laws protecting the buyers under PD 957 and even PD 1529. So, HSAC here can lawfully do the following. Number one, if you are already fully paid, the rule is that once the loan is fully paid, the mortgage is already extinguished, di ba? It's already extinguished, but the title remains with the bank. If you get it from the bank may not issue because you are not the registered owner. It's a queer situation. It will require an SPA from the developer or a deed of sale for you to give to them in order that they will release it. It's a queer situation. How can you do that when the developer is already gone, has already absconded? So the bank's obligation here becomes ministerial actually if the HSAC decides that bank you have to give it. Why? Because you're already paid, di ba? You have already paid. And if not, there is a continuing compliance. Well, while the bank may not release it yet, but at least the bank will recognize your ownership over the property. You can do that with from the HSAC, no? So, the HSAC, supposing you have fully paid, may validly order the bank to release the owner's duplicate title, the TCT, and order the execution of a deed of cancellation of mortgage. Kasi fully paid na eh. So it will order that, okay, you execute a deed of cancellation of mortgage and compel the execution of deed of conveyance and direct the transfer of title to your name. To whom would be the order directing the execution of deed of conveyance? To the developer. Assuming that the developer is still there, it's no longer, it has disappeared, but it's still there, it has still office, at least they could still issue that, no? And direct the transfer of title to your name. That is the rule. Now, this does not regulate actually banking operations, no? Because it simply enforces a completed transaction. That it with respect to the bank. But the problem is that what if the developer is already gone, permanently bankrupt, absconded? Wala na, it has no office anymore. What can you do? Now, well, merong what we call substitution orders that the HSAC may do, which we'll discuss later on. So, if the developer is gone or uncooperative anymore, Well, the developer's absence does not stop the case. In fact, HSAC may proceed even if the developer is non-participating or defunct. It can even declare the developer in default. It can issue what we call implementation orders to protect your rights. And this is where people sometimes confuse it. What are these implementation order? They hear it as parang substitution orders or substitution um, directive from the HSAC. No? But actually, it is an implementation order. So ano ba yung substitution? No? What substitution really means when HSAC compels for a execution of a document over a defunct or no longer or non-appearing developer. So it means that in simple terms, the law does not use the exact term substitution, no? But HSAC has implied authority to ensure that the buyer, like you, your rights will not be defeated because of that absence, no, or missing developer. So practically, this means HSAC may, number one, authorize the execution of conveyance documents in lieu of the developer. Take note, in lieu of the developer. It may say that, okay, we will issue, direct the issuance of a conveyance documents, no longer the developer, but it would be given authority for you to execute a deed of conveyance to yourself. And just like what the court does, it issues a judicial order of conveyance that there is already a conveyance order in your favor. And when the moment that is issued, and that is the time wherein you get now to have the 30 days capital gains. No? You have to pay for that. Ang issue na lang, when would it be run ang 30 days? Will it run during the finality of the decision or at the time of the execution of the order of conveyance by the HSAC? And in my opinion, it would be from the time that the decision has become final and executory. Now, it could even direct the HSAC, the Register of Deeds, to act based on its decision. And it may also order compliance even without the developer's signature. Ito yung tinatawag nating administrative enforcement. It is not a court-issued judicial conveyance, but it is an administrative enforcement in order that your interest as a fully paid buyer, assuming, will be protected. Because if that is the case, that the HSAC has no jurisdiction to do those things, then your rights will be defeated. Kawawa naman kayo, di ba? So, now how about the bank? What is the role of the bank in this particular case? As I said, it is just a nominal or necessary party in order to have a complete adjudication of the complaint. No? So the role of the bank in this HSAC case is only nominal. Because, well, why nominal? Because it holds the title and its cooperation is needed for mortgage cancellation and the release of the title. Take note, sila may hawak ng title. So they must be impleaded in order that they will be ordered to release the title by the HSAC. No? And HSAC may also issue orders binding the bank only for these implementation purposes, such as, okay, you release the title, you cancel the mortgage. So those are the things that it can issue. No? So, yes, you have these rights. So what are the practical steps? No? I will give you practical steps you should take now. Of course, you have to gather all the documents, your contract to sell, loan and bank documents, official receipts, all documents, bank statements. No? Then you have to make a formal demand letter to the developer. At least so sa kanilang last known address. Better yet, you get a lawyer to do this for you. And copy furnish po si bank. No? And then you also, after that, Siyempre, if it is already gone, it was absconded already, you file an ITSAC complaint na. And the causes of action may be for failure to deliver the title, failure to convey ownership. Now, take note that you could demand this already because you could file this already in court because you have demanded and there was no compliance. Kasi nga, absconded paano pa mag-comply, no? And the bank cannot comply this because without a court order. So, with that, causes of action would be failure to deliver title, failure to convey ownership. So, bottom line here po, straight answer, no? Of course, you can also include damages and attorney's fees if you could still collect, no? Kung maka-garnish pa ba tayo, kung mayroon pa bang bank account yung developer, nawala na no? So, bottom line and straight answer, as I said, based on your questions po, no? Yes, you still have a right, no? A strong legal chance, actually, to acquire the title. Di naman nawawala, it's still there. It is there in the bank. Hindi lang ma-release and under the name of the developer, no? So, you could still get and acquire the title, no? So, the developer's disappearance does not defeat your rights. Take note of that. And ITSAC is the proper forum, not the regular courts, no? Because ITSAC can compel the completion of the transaction, and the bank may be ordered to release the title once fully paid. This is a classic buyer protection clause. Buyer protection case. And the law is clearly on the buyer side here. Actually, PD 957 protects us, no, the buyers for this subdivision and from the developers, no? And ITSAC is there to implement the law as the agency that can hear unsound real estate business practices, just like in this case, kasi nawala siya. That is an unsound. So, yeah, that's it, practically. So, I appreciate your respectful message, Miss Marigold Alcantara Uy. Araneta, I'm sorry, Araneta here. And your understanding about professional time. Actually, this is actually the kind of a real world concern in real estate. No? And it deserves public discussion. That's why I'm posting it in YouTube. No? And you are not powerless in this situation. And the law is very much on your side. So, yun po. I hope I was able to answer. And kung may kulang, maybe you could ask it from your lawyer na or ask for a second opinion and maybe inject what I have discussed. No? I hope everything has been covered already. So with that, thank you very much. And Sukran. Tar all. Law for all. Bye-bye.